What's up, everybody? This is your boys from In the Pocket. I'm Big Bob. That's Maestro. We wanted to come with you with a little new episode thing we're going to start trying out. We always have a lot of things on our mind that we want to talk about, but we always want to start and focus with the things that you guys want to talk about. But again, sometimes there's some things we might want to talk about. So we're going to have I'm not going to call it shorts. They're short. They're going to be shorter episodes throughout the week. We're going to call it Pocket Lint. Just a little piece of our mind. You guys can have a little piece of our mind. But no, again, 100% still the same feel, still the same feel. But we still want to focus the main show on you guys, but give you these bonus episodes every now and again. Me and my man Maestro wanted to talk a little bit about college sports and the ever-changing landscape that is college football, college sports in general right now, with the NIL, and also the fact that you can bet on college sports now, which has caused significant issues, as most people who follow sports know, with the big indictment that just happened with, I think it was 36 or 37 college basketball players who were point shaving or intentionally doing less to help, doing less, scoring less points, having less assists and less rebounds to make money. But Maestro, what are your thoughts in general? I know we're both kind of in the similar boat here, but the NIL, we got the NIL, we got sports betting being legalized everywhere. What are your thoughts on the current landscape?
So I'm going to ask you to turn your Bibles, A History of Pi, to page number 92. These developments naturally facilitated the calculation of pi by the Archimedean method or its modifications. That's very important, by the way. And accuracy is far beyond any possible practical use was obtained. We shall now come back to, I'm sorry, I'm messing around. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. I think I said this before, and hopefully I said it clearly. NIL is what it is. It's making a new professional league. That's what's going on. Put it away. But the deal tying into this point shaving, they finally found a line that somebody's got to say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Because if there's nothing else that this country has ever wanted to get right, and that was the betting lines. I will say what you want to say about the odds makers for Vegas, those people. It's about integrity for them. And if they catch anybody doing dirty, they will out them themselves. So we know about the professional players who use the apps and they try to bet on the side, change their name. So instead of
have
saying
their
that
family member do it.
have their family member do it, exactly. It's like, come on, man. This, you can't unless you're running around with one of these joints. You know what I'm saying? Unless you run around one of these joints,
You got your burner
just don't even
phone.
think about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying there's a reason. All right, I'm just saying. All right, don't make me pull out my abacus. So the reality of it is, but okay, the primary reality of it is, whoever was masterminding that scheme with those college players figured, well, if we go with the mid majors, nobody's going to pay attention. But understand something: when you're putting $450,000 bets down, you're going to get attention.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna get you're gonna get attention from the odds makers. You're gonna get attention from the bookmakers. You're gonna get attention from the IRS. You're gonna get attention from everybody. That's one thing. The other thing is there's a such thing as play of expectation. If anyone has ever played college sports, you know that the orientation that happens, I think it was twice a year back when I played. I don't know about you, Bob, but it was twice a year where you had to sit in the auditorium and they would play the video on gambling. Don't, be careful who you tell you're hurt. Just various things like that, because somebody was always looking for a heads up, especially when you play for one of the bigger schools. And if you look at like even how a lot of the NFL's particularly how they do their injury list. They have to have the out by a certain date. And if somebody's not on it but they're hurt, the team gets fined. That has nothing to do with the league. That has everything to do with how gambling is managed. So for these kids who are being offered $10,000 to $30,000 or whatever it was to make sure that they lost by a certain number or whatever,
Or made
it's
sure that the
so
other team stayed close enough. They were covering spreads, making sure the other
they were
team stayed
covering the
close.
spread.
All those things.
The fact that it came to this for the NCAA to say, I told you, makes me sick to the stomach, Bob.
Which is
And I'm
go ahead.
and yeah, and I'm blaming NCAA.
That combination of letters makes me sick to begin with.
It does.
Yeah,
I'm actually in a report for the NCAA. My team, my college team got hit with what you say, subject to investigation or whatever. They cleared the school, and my name got in it because apparently, I was the only one who definitely had to go to their classes. I was a music major in undergrad, so I couldn't exactly send somebody for like bassoon 3 class, some
like who's this? That doesn't sound like Maestro.
Exactly. So it's just and there's another thing too that I won't even waste time with here that really aches me about them. That being said, though, Bob, when they first started NIL, I was on a show on another network, and I made a comment that I remember saying, and I'm going to stick by this, and I have the receipts to prove it. I said that women's sports were going to really benefit from it because of the fact that a lot of lady athletes they're very attractive, and that's something that gets brought into social media, and they're going to benefit from it. And I was glad for it. But I also said it's going to hit the fan once they hit high school. And the cats I was on this panel with, they all called me crazy, which they weren't wrong. I do have lots of things missing and wrong going inside my noggin, but I was right about that. NIL's already in high school. So can you imagine money being shifted around in Texas high school football right now? It's just bananas. Bring it back to what we're talking about, though, to not make this little pocket lint episode a 9-hour episode. The fact that those cats were so greedy, if they would have bet and won half of what they did, they wouldn't have drawn attention to themselves, first of all. Second of all, I don't even blame the college players anymore. If you got a way to get a little extra scratch for the little extra back, do what you got. I'm not going to get on a soapbox about the integrity of the game. I'm not going to get on a soapbox talking about how student athletes. I'm not going to do that anymore because it is a waste of everybody's time. This is where we live now. And if you watch these sports and if you're unaware of what's going on and you're happy with your unawareness, enjoy the bliss. If you're aware of what's going on and you still want to watch it, enjoy your bliss. And I'm saying it that way, and I'm really not trying. I'm really Bob, Big Bob, brother. I promise, I'm trying not to be snotty. The reality of it is, ultimately, you have to get to the point of where is the joy in this for me to watch these cats play? And there's going to be dirt everywhere, and it's going to get more and more now. Why? Because if you give a mouse a cookie, they're going to want a glass of milk. So that means every line that the NCAA didn't draw. You got a whole bunch of Bill Belichick wannabes out there saying that if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So they're going to try to find that line. How far do I have to push this to go to make the NCAA say, look at that? When you have a cat in the transfer portal from the University of Alabama, Birmingham, he is about to be indicted for murdering somebody, I believe. After he gets hit with the charge, he enters the transfer portal because he knows he's not going to play at University of Alabama, Birmingham anymore. Let me see if somebody else will take me. And I'll explain away why I stabbed that dude. It's like, this is where we are now, man. And I really feel bad for these kids because now their experience is ruined. because goodness knows if it all flushes out, if the IRS is going to want taxes on that, they're not prepared for it. Something, I mean, their lives are ruined for a couple extra thousands of dollars because the NIL money at those mid-major schools is not what it is at the majors.
It probably ain't $10,000 to $30,000.
So, the fact that the rest of their life, think about this. How many of them are not going to be able to remain in the sport?
Yeah.
How many, you can't go play in Europe like you used to play.
No, they'll have to go to one of the Russian leagues or something like that where the integrity might not be all there.
By the way, I got a story for that too for you, real quick. If we have time tonight if this is short enough, I'll tell you that story about an experience I had with a tryout for a European team, and there was a Russian ownership group. Man, let me tell you, that's why you never let Jason Bourne borrow your car. So the reality of it is, these cats' lives are now ruined, or they're going to be Sisyphus trying to push 2 rocks up the hill because of easy scratch right now makes for a lot of pain later when you're not doing it the right way. Yeah. And I feel bad for them, but they also made those choices. And guess what? I'm not going to soapbox it. I promise. It is what it is. But man, I just hope that they're able to find a way to pull themselves out of it. I'll leave it there.
And whoever got them to join in with them to do these things, they knew what they were doing. I think the highest profile school was Buffalo. I think that was the highest profile school. And when you have someone betting hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even $100,000, $50,000, whatever, on a Buffalo basketball game, that's you're immediately, again, the people that picked these kids knew what they were doing to a point, but they didn't know what they were doing putting that kind of money down on these games.
Bob, I have one question. I have one question before you continue. Was the person who was masterminding this gambling league was her name Sister Mary Hamilton? I only say that if you know, you know. But my elementary school baseball, football, basketball, and soccer coach, Sister Mary Hamilton, ran a gambling league for elementary school sports, and ended up doing a lot of time in federal prison. She should be out by now. I just wanted to be with her because it sounds like something she would do.
But yeah, I mean, again, at the end of the day, yes, they are still kids. Yep. They are still kids. Yeah. I know we're not going to get into it. Frontal lobe doesn't fully develop, blah 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 until you're 26, whatever. Yes, they're considered adults, but they are still kids, and a lot of these kids came from extremely poor areas. That when you see $10,000, that might be the most money you ever have seen in your life, and probably the most you ever expect to see in your life.
Can you imagine if that's where your head is? I'm playing this sport with a chance to think that I'll become a millionaire. Why? Because guys in the league. And then you finally get to the point where it's time to make that college. You're not getting the letters from Kentucky. You're not getting the letters from North Carolina. You're getting the letters from the Giacomo Bay Area Community College School of the Weightlifting Turtles. And we may be, if you sign with us, we might have enough players to actually have a full team this year in Division triple, quadruple, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a scholarship, but you can work at the Huddle House.
Yeah,
and you can keep your tip. And listen, okay, and I'm trying to make a joke. I'm trying to make light of it, but it's not funny, because I think for a lot of cats who are unrealistic, who aren't smart enough to say, okay, wait, let me look at my body type. Let me look at my this. Yeah, I can ball here in the hood. But when you step out of the hood and you're going to go up against other cats that actually are working, and now cats have strength coaches in elementary school. They have their dietitian. There's some people out there, they're going to jump academies to be able to add another 2 and 3 inches to their jump. That stuff is going on now, and it's real.
Yeah.
Well, so you think because you never lost a game of 21 in the hood that you can all of a sudden be the next Moses Malone. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I will always remember when I boxed. Never professionally or anything, but I always remember when I boxed and I was training, and you'd have these kids come in. Oh, hey, do you have any experience? I had no experience. I did it for about 2 years, just as to get into better shape. And you'd always have these kids come in. Oh, what's your? Oh, I've been fighting on the streets since I was a kid. they got worked out of the gym. Every single time they got worked out because they had no idea what it actually took to fight. A street fight is going to probably take, what are we going to say, 20, 25 seconds? And they have no idea stamina. They have no idea about stamina, no idea about picking your shots. Man. Yeah, 3 minutes. 8 to 12 rounds, 3 minutes apiece. They didn't know. It was like their stamina made me look like I was an Olympic swimmer. I'm just saying, just how tired they got.
Yeah,
but it is. These guys have they have such unrealistic expectations, and you think that was back. I mean, that was back in like 2010, maybe for me, 2009, 2010. And
you have no excuse to not know stuff today. There's so much information that's in your face.
It's all there. But yeah, it's such unrealistic expectations. You have what 99.9% of high school athletes aren't going to go to a significant professional league in America. So these people, and it's not even just them; it's the people around them who continue to build up them with these unrealistic expectations. Your friends, your homies that are hyping you up, they're setting you up. And they're going to be the first. They're the ones that are there now trying to hype you up. But the second you fall, they're gone. You're going to look around. You
never see them again. Never see them again. Look, ask Mike Vick. Coach Sanders, my high school baseball coach. I will love him forever. And I'm going to tell you why. Because something you just said that hits so on point. He really started to prepare us, even as a freshman. He started to prepare us for what it's going to be like getting recruited, what's going on. Here's the things to look for. Be careful if somebody does this. If somebody offers you a car, if somebody picks you up from the airport or the bus station and it's 3 girls in a convertible, be careful. Don't keep your hands in your pocket. Don't sign anything. He warned about so much stuff. And I will never forget the day, because I still have the sheet of paper, by the way. Getting ready for a district playoff game, he walks over to my locker. On a notebook sheet of paper, he wrote the number 5, and he taped it inside my locker. I said, "What's up with that, Coach?" He says, "I'm going to talk to you later. Just keep that there." And so after the game, he says, "Scouts are here looking at some of the juniors and seniors, obviously, but they're really paying attention to you too. They told me. Technically, they can't talk to you yet because you're not even a sophomore. But here's what's going on." He said, 5% of the people who play elementary ball get a chance to play high school ball. And 5% of those people, I'm sorry, elementary
5% of the 5%.
Of those, 5% of 5% get a chance to play varsity high school ball. Then 5% of those cats get a chance to play top-level college ball. Then less than 5% of them get a chance to play professional ball. So understand what you're up against. And as long as you remember that and you stay serious and I'll never forget that speech, man. And because it carries over to everything else to me in life. And some of our top players during the season, when they got hooked up with something shady, they weren't on the team. He didn't care about our record. He was raising us to be good people. And I will always love him for that. And I really feel bad for these kids who didn't have that. And brother, the way you said it brought tears to my eyes, because that 10 grand right now, okay, first of all, it's fruits of the poisonous tree, which means they might not be able to keep it with the investigation. And if they've already spent it, guess what's going to happen? Taxes. How many of them you think are ready to say that they got handed $10,000 in cash, and all of a sudden the IRS is going to say, okay, so for that you owe me $30,000.
You're looking at sorry, 10, you said 10,000. Sorry, but 10,000. Just assume 30% immediately. Go with 40% just to be safe. So look, here's 10,000, and I spent 10,000. You're 30 to 40,000, or Jesus, 3 to 4,000 in the hole.
Yeah, and then penalties and fees. And then that's going to keep adding up and following you around the rest of your life.
But now lawyer fees, court fees, fines.
Oh, God.
All that stuff.
And by the way, you do know when they lock you up, you have to pay for that too.
Get what, like 15 cents? 15 cents. You go get a job, 15 cents a day.
Mm-hmm. So So I feel so bad for these kids, man. And I know they're supposed to be adults, and I can say that because I'm 60, right? Uh, the reality of it is just so horrible to be taken advantage of. And listen, some of them might not even care. It was like, look, I took my shot, I blew it, I missed it. It's what it is. And you know what? That's a piss poor attitude too. And I apologize for the language. The reality of it is, your life and your family's life is now busted with a generational breaking hole in it because you didn't either have someone there to help you do it the right way, or you didn't realize, hey, dude, this ain't cool.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, if the game meant that little to you, that, hey, okay, what? Keep the other team in it, whatever. If competition really meant that little to you, you shouldn't have been playing to begin with. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm say what it is. And so, no, I'm not washing my hands of them. No, no, I'm not excusing them either. But, oh, come on. And I keep saying it, man. Bob, how many times have you known cats that one decision, when the right decision is so obvious, it's no, 2 letters, no, not doing that.
Yeah.
And they go the other way, and you see a life get ruined over nothing. And guess what, Bob? Guess what? These people are still going to find a way to make money, because those cats who made all that money from the gambling, they can afford the better lawyers. They because why? They make other people money too, right?
Yep.
So they're going to get and they're going to sell everybody else out down the tree. So when that DA says, you know what, we got 42 arrests out of this, their numbers look good, and there's somebody who's going to be walking away, and it bothers me, man. I feel for them, but for crying out loud, man, you run with the dog, you get fleas. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of those things, like we say that we expect them, as because of their age, that they should know better. But then you have the rookie, for the NFL, they have the rookie, is it the memorandum? Like they
Yeah.
have these athletes come in and explain to them financial, they stress the financial side of things, what you should and shouldn't do. But then you still have these adults that go, professional athletes, just they'll blow through the money. I know it's
Yep.
easy for me to say, if you gave me $30 million, I'm sorry, I'm good. I'm set for, you give me $5 million,
Oh yeah.
I'm good for
Oh,
life. I'm sitting down, I'm going, okay,
you
this
just
is how
changed my
much
family's trajectory.
this is how much longer I have to live. This is what my bills look like. This is the amount of money that I'm going to need to put away to make sure that I don't ever have to worry about anything ever again. And then here's the money that I have on the side. Now, why am I like that? I have no idea why I'm like that, to be honest. But there's a lot of people like that. But I
And I
also
can
have never
still
been
enjoy
given.
my life.
Hmm?
I can still enjoy my life.
Yeah.
I can still have fun. I don't need the super pink stretch limo with the spinners and the hot tub in the back,
Yeah.
and J-Lo and all her twin cousins hanging
And
out with me.
the $10,000 square foot house. What do you now? Again, granted, Maestro, me and you have never been handed $30 million to,
No,
so it's easy
no.
for us to say these things without being handed this money, but $10,000 house, or
I
$10,000
have
house. I would love a $10,000 house. Give me
Yeah, I
that.
know,
I
right?
don't even know what
I
that's not even enough to buy half an acre of
I
land.
I have one comparison for you, brother. I have one comparison for you. First time I got handed a multi-thousand-dollar check.
Mm,
You know what I did? Gave it to my folks.
mm,
Gave it to my folks
yeah,
because I wouldn't have been able to do that if they weren't in my life, right?
yeah,
You know, and God knows I ate enough bread, beans, and eggs to keep me busy. Um, but it was easy for me. And
yeah,
then the one of the best compliments I ever got, and I still I goosebump this, is a buddy that I'd known since high school. Years later, ran into me. We kind of talking. He was talking to somebody else. He says, "You know what? That dude, you can tell if he made $2 million this year, or if he was totally flat broke, because he's still the same person."
yeah,
That meant something to me. That meant
yeah,
something to me because I you know what? I don't want a big house because I don't want to clean it. Now, I don't want somebody else in there cleaning my house either. Why? I can
Mhm.
only sleep in one room. I can only work
Yeah.
out in one room. I can, so we have this sort of practical thing about it, because the first thing you said, you get $10 million. Okay, I'm gonna put aside some working money. I'm gonna do this. I might buy something for myself that I've always wanted. So like I
Yeah.
might buy myself I might buy, so an MD-500 helicopter. I might buy myself an MD-500
I
helicopter.
I would have an all blacked out Cadillac Escalade. That's all I know. That
There you go.
I would be out. That would be my first purchase probably.
But you know what? I'm still buying my clothes from the outlet.
Yep.
And I'm not
Yep.
gonna buy extra clothes because I can only wear one pair of pants at a time, and I can only wear one holy shirt at a time. Hey, representing my mom's Mississippi Valley, go Delta Doubles, baby, woohoo! That's my mom's. That's my
Representing
mom's school.
Captain Hook's pirate crew. Let's go, Captain
Let's
Hook's pirate
go,
crew.
go! So, but yeah, man, you know what, and you know what, and it's not fair to put your values on somebody else. I get that.
No,
We're trying to make, so
everybody's
we're
raised
not doing that
differently.
either. Everybody's, everybody has a different view. So, we're just trying to make light of it a little bit. In my heart of hearts, I would say I truly, truly, truly feel bad for those kids.
Yeah,
I really do.
like you said, the people that truly, the ones that were manipulated and used, are the ones that are
Mm-hmm.
going to feel the most effects.
Suffer the
You
most.
said it
Yeah.
perfectly. They're the ones that are going to suffer the most. You said it perfectly. But again, and at some point, they're jumping to the NIL. We need a governing body, and it is not one. It's
Too
not the
late.
NCAA. The NCAA
Too
doesn't know
late.
what they want to do. They
Baby,
insert
it's too
themselves
late.
into situations that they don't need to
Mm.
insert themselves into. They don't insert themselves into situations that they should
No, they
insert
don't.
themselves
Yeah, they
to.
should. Exactly.
So it's like
Baby, it's too
you
late.
never know, you never know what they're going to do. You never know what the only thing that they care about is how much money can I make. And
And you know what? And they're going, and NCAA is going to make their money.
mhm,
Why? But I'm sure our listeners know this. Our viewers know this. March Madness is not a product of the NCAA, right? That's his own separate product. So the league doesn't make, the NCAA as a league, as a governing body, doesn't make the money you think they make off it. The college football playoffs are not really NCAA. That's a separate entity unto itself. That's why they negotiate. That's why they have to negotiate with the various conferences. So you put it in those dynamics. I with all respect, Bob, you're a much better person than me. It's way too late to govern NIL. That's like saying, there's the reason it's called a Wild Wild West. Go out there and grab you some land, you'll be fine.
yep.
And you got to fight off the natives. You got to do this. You got to fight off each other. There's no laws. There's no rules. And stuff went to HE double hockey sticks for years before they finally fixed it. Right now, stuff doesn't get fixed like that anymore. It is way too late. It is going to be an out of control freight train now until they form another super conference or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just way too late. It's way too late to get a governing body for NIL.
Yeah, and it's just at the end of the day too, it just seems like the NCAA is just taking the gloves off completely. You have these kids who man, I'm going to use TJ Finley as an example. I remember when he committed to LSU. He is on his 7th team in 7 years.
That's right.
And he's not the only one. So how
did he do a junior college in there somewhere too? Am I
did he
confusing
do
with someone else?
I think he did. I know there's LSU. I think there was Texas State. There was is he? I think he's at Liberty now. I'm pretty sure that's where he transferred. I think. I can't remember. I know there's 7 schools, a different school every single year. And how there was a time where if you wanted to play now and transfer, you had to go from you had to go from Penn State to junior college, and that's the only way that you were playing next season. And then you could transfer to another school, or you could transfer to another
and that's
school.
if you got through the clearinghouse.
Yeah. Oh, don't even get me started on the clearinghouse. Do not get me started. We do not have the time for me to talk about the clearinghouse and all. That was nothing but issues. But anyways, yeah, it's just they're so, and I think they just, unless, I hope it was a dream. Please tell me it was a dream. But the NCAA just passed. The coaches agreed that a player can play in 9 games now and still use their red shirt.
9?
9. I hope it was, again, I hope it was a dream, but I haven't slept well the last 2 days prior to recording this episode, and then I fell asleep on the couch sitting up. But
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shout. I shouted. I apologize, everybody. I had a little too much bass in my voice. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that to y'all.
But yeah,
Oh my dear Lord mercy.
I'm 99% sure. Again, I'm hoping it was a dream. But yeah, you can play in 9 games and still use your red shirt. I understood the COVID year. I understood
Right.
giving kids an opportunity. That was something that
Right.
that's something that's going to happen every 100 years or something like that.
Right.
It was crazy. But 9 games, you can transfer pretty much at will now, as long as you transfer in this particular time period, or in this particular this particular time period in the year, and you can play forever you want. And it's all about who's going to make me the most money.
Yep.
And these NIL contracts don't mean anything. There's no commitment on anybody's side. You look at I think his name was Williams, the quarterback for Washington. He went $2.5 million or $3 million contract, and then decided, you know what, I changed my mind. But he's going back now because they say that it was because they sat down and had a very good conversation. I think he was just probably worried about the potential legal ramifications of it. But it's like, there's literally it is the Wild West. There's no regulations on this. 100%. I am 1,000,000% for college athletes making money off of their likeness. 100%. Yeah. If they want to go do a commercial, if they want to be in a video game, if they want to do this or that, please go earn that money. But at the end of the day, there is no difference from the transfer portal and the NIL to NFL free agency. And except they have even more freedom in college, again, to go wherever they want. Penn State just lost their starting safety and starting corner from last season, who transferred to Penn State. It's like, and you just, at the end of the day, there has to be some kind of regulation, there shouldn't be these guys who are playing for 7 teams in 7 years.
So okay, I'm gonna ask you something. So much for this being a short, right?
Yeah.
So Bob, our reality, when you think about how unstable things are, do you view it as it's just baked in the cake now? And I wash my nose of the news throughout the weeks or throughout the days, and just who's ever on the team, who's ever suiting up and playing on Saturday or whatever day, that's just what the team is right now. I'm going to ignore everything else. Or do you feel like the average fan or the above average fan is going to want to pay attention to these details, and that's going to make a difference of how they don't enjoy what their team is doing?
I'll say right now, because I frequently, for my teams, 30, 40 times a day, I am looking to see if now that's a little obsessive, but you just never, because of how volatile sports are, I'm always checking to see the Vikings and Penn State. Has anything happened, especially with the transfer portal? But I'm seeing Penn State fans, they're literally going, hey, let me know the first Saturday of the season, the first game of the season. Let me know who the team is at that point, because this is way too much. I think it's more now. I think we might be up to 20 or 21 Iowa State players have transferred in. We have players from UCLA, Texas State, Division III schools. I think the school was named Tiffin. Like we don't. Our team. I sat down last night because I wanted to look and see what our team was truly looking like for next season, see what our needs were. And I sat
Right, right,
down,
right.
man, it was a pain. I put every player that I could find to see who was still there. And
Mm,
man, over half the team's going to be different strictly because of the transfer portal, us getting a new coach, and that's another thing that
yeah.
it's really hard for me to get behind. I like our new coach Matt Campbell.
Hmm.
I like that players have the opportunity. I do. I like the idea of having one free transfer. I'm going to call it free. One free
I
transfer in your
I
college
thought we.
career.
I believe we're
Um,
following what you're saying.
but Iowa State was absolutely decimated by Matt Campbell leaving because the
Yeah.
majority of his starters are going with him.
Mm.
When Signetti left JMU, absolute. Well, I
Oh,
mean,
great call.
I'm gonna
Great
say.
call.
Well, no, I was gonna say I'm gonna say it decimated them, but it didn't really. I would say it didn't really decimate them because JMU was still doing well, but still,
Yeah.
they figured it out. But they figured it out because of the NIL. If it
Yeah.
wasn't for the NIL, JMU probably would be a 0-win. Just with the players that they lost, they probably would have been a 0-win team. Iowa State's going
Yeah.
to be okay because of the NIL. They're probably not going to be at the same success that Campbell had them at.
No.
Um,
No.
but at the end of the day, like these coaches, they're taking all these players with them, decimating the team that they left. I think at one point, I think the number was 15 players on Iowa State's team that were left.
Wow.
And
Wow. I
and
didn't realize it was that few.
I think it was 15. And fortunately, schools are allowed to have more players now than they did
Yes.
10 years ago. But man, how hard is it going to be to build up that Iowa State team? Now you can go, oh, now you're going to have all these transfers going in because now they have an opportunity. So it's like, it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. They're destroying this team because they're all leaving to follow their coach. But then you have all these guys coming in who just needed an opportunity or wanted an opportunity, and they're going to get that because there's nobody there. Um, but yeah, I do think that we're going to have more and more fans that are just like, let me know what happens. Let me know what happens in 5 months.
Right.
Let me.
Right. Right.
I will find out then because it's
So
way too much for me to follow right now.
so Bob, I'm gonna upset you and I apologize because Bob, you work so hard. You make us look so good. I just want to say that publicly. I know I said to you in private a lot, but I want to say it publicly. I really appreciate all you do. So I'm gonna upset you right now. Boo, I am in that I could care less mode.
Yeah,
When Saturday comes, I'll put on my jersey and I'm gonna root for whoever's on the team. If I don't know, if I know him, I know him. If I don't know, if I don't know him.
yeah.
And I'm not trying to be nasty about it, but I'm just gonna tell you something. I realize for me, this is for me, everybody. So please kind of stay with me 1 second here. Don't give up on Maestro yet. I the whole point of me celebrating my schools, because I have multiple, uh, and I mean sheepskin from multiple. So it's not like I just went to the Walmart campus. I actually graduated from these places that I celebrate. The whole point for me is the joy of what my school is doing. And as much as I want to attach myself to players sometimes, and they're at my alma mater, I know very well that they could be gone the next year.
Yep.
So I don't even I don't even want to put myself in that hurt. Saying really liking a player. I I was really lucky. My last real invested years with the dogs with Georgia. I'm invested now, not like I was before, but I'm invested now. Was you know when they had players staying there with Kirby the full time before NIL totally blew up. So I was really lucky that I got a long bit of time with my alma mater, coming back, living in the state of Georgia, a long bit of time, not that far away from my alma mater, of being there, watching them, the success, the national championships, the whole night. I was really, really blessed with that. But I'm also not silly enough to know that's going to be like that forever, because that's just not how it works anymore.
Yeah.
And it's not going to work like that anymore. And you know what? And that's okay. That's okay. I can still catch the games on Saturday. I can go to them. I can watch them. I can wear my Georgia jersey, wear my Georgia shirt, still be proud of my school, and all the noise outside. And wait, we're saying it as a sports podcast, so you see what I'm doing here. I'm really talking against myself. All the noise outside, yeah, okay, I can let that go.
Yeah.
Because unlike my man Bob, who has the capacity to hang on to that stuff, I just don't. and I wish I did, because maybe my personal investment might be a little bit stronger. I don't know. You tell me what you think. Please feel free to put in the comments. Do you think I should
It's
be
hard.
willing to live with it every day? But I right now I don't see it. So I'm open. I am amenable to new ideas. For a long time, I didn't have a professional baseball team, just because me not being able to play pro ball was really hurtful for me,
I wish I didn't.
and everything. And even though I love the Braves, and I remember listening to the Braves on radio. I still listen to them on radio now to this day from when I was growing up, because they were the closest professional team where I lived in Mississippi. But so I guess they were always kind of, in a dirty way, my favorite team. But when I was doing another show, the fans helped me pick a team that I could love, because I had criteria. I wanted to be an old school team. I wanted to be a team that played in still the old stadium, So they kind of narrowed it down a lot. So and ironically, it's a team attached to the Braves. It's the Boston Red Sox. So I went to Boston University. See, here we go. Got sheepskin from the school. So, but it was cool, because fans would write in and say, you should like this team because they meant this, they missed it, they've done this. And that was really cool, because it helped me see through other people's eyes what they saw in teams, and that's something that I lack, and I'm openly can admit that. So I learned so much from our listeners and our viewers when they talk about that stuff, because it means something to me, because I don't have that, right? So for me right now, dude, I can hang out, love my UGA, do my thing, blah blah blah, whatever, but in terms of the other stuff, if our viewers can say, listen, if you really like the team, you should know all this stuff, and this is why it's good for you, I will read it, and I will consider it, and I'll even talk about it. But right now, my man Bob, I just don't have it, man.
I can't blame you.
The landscape has changed what it is, and I'm not trying to say it was better. I'm not saying, listen, wait, stop. Sorry. I'm not saying that it was better in the olden days. I'm not that dude. I'm not get off my lawn. I'm keeping my flip phone until it stops working. I'm not that dude. Well, with the flip phone, I'm that dude. But with everything else, I'm not that dude. I'm open to new stuff. But right now, where I'm at with it, dude, I just want to enjoy the games.
Yeah,
I want to enjoy where we are. I don't care about the rankings. You heard me. I don't care about the rankings anymore, because they don't mean anything to me anymore. I don't care about where we end up in the college football playoff. If we end up in the college football, if we do, great. I'll celebrate that. And then when we win the national championship again, I'll be just as happy with a little less of a headache. But right now, no, dude.
Yeah,
catch your game time, baby.
I can't blame you. It's just there's so many moving parts, so many unknowns, never knowing who's going to be here tomorrow. I can't blame anybody that they're just waiting. I'll be there for the games. I'll be there to support them for the games. Can't blame them. I'm sure I'll get there eventually. I mean, honestly, that's how I am with there. I have certain sports that I am like that. You brought up baseball. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to get in too much of a ramble, because we called this a short episode, a new short episode called Pocket Lint, for you to get a little piece of our mind, and it's about to be the same length as a regular episode. But hey, maybe the people might love it. They might love it. I don't know.
It's not fault, guys. It's all on my. It's Maestro's. It's not Bob's fault. Bob is doing a wonderful job. It's all on Maestro's got stuff in his head, man. That's just y'all don't want to know.
But yeah, like I've gotten to a point, like the Pirates. Love the Pirates, but I'm not sitting here. I'm not worried about who they're signing, who's leaving. Love the Red Wings. Follow them, but I'm not worried about who they're signing, who they're trading away, who they're getting. That's where I'm at with some of those sports, because yeah, again, the Red Wings, they did extremely well for a period of time, and they've been so bad. Now, they're not doing terrible this year, or they weren't, but they did so bad for so long after being so good that I put my focus into other sports. And college football is always going to be my number one. It just always is. Regardless of all the changes that it's going through, I'm always going to be Penn State is always going to be my number one, and I'll always focus on them the most. But no, I get it. I understand. There's so much going on with college sports that it's literally like having a second full-time job, just trying to keep up with your team nowadays.
By the way, that's cool, because by the way, Kai, if anybody's going to watch this part, it's going to be Kai Killett. So I know he's got a question already, and I'm going to answer it right now. So Kai, here's the deal. The reason Maestro has so many useless stats and numbers and stuff in his head is because I don't follow it like show to show, podcast, whatever. I read a lot because I like to read a lot. So I would read like statistics just because I want to see what's happening. Am I paying attention to who got the Nike sock deal? No. Am I paying attention to who just referred? No. But I will read the statistics. I will read, like, you know, there was like, okay, so it's just like, I know it's already too long. I done screwed this up. So it's always like this thing where like they were talking about, you know, I would hear people that I trust and I really respect talk about third down conversion is so huge. No, it's not. You know how, you know, I'm gonna tell you why I know it's not. Pittsburgh Steelers and whoever they played and lost to this past week.
Texans.
Pittsburgh was 0 for 7 in the first half in third down conversion. And the Texans were 7 of 9. And it was a 1-score game at halftime. Not every team doesn't get to third down and have to convert. And oh, by the way, you saw what happened it wasn't until the very end that game got out of control. So again, that's why we don't talk about stats like that, because without context, they make no sense.
Well, but you go look at the Detroit Lions. Third downs don't matter because they're going for it on fourth almost every time. I'm not going to say every time, but a good chunk of the time, Detroit's going to go for it on fourth down.
And oh, by the way, who went for it more than Detroit this year? You know who? They were in the playoffs. It was oh my goodness gracious, it doesn't matter. Somebody else. Fact check me, but if somebody else did it more than they did it this year, Chicago went for it on fourth down more than anybody else, I think, this year. So again, you know, I know we got away from talking about like the kids and the gambling stuff like that, and we got into like this whole thing about like why does sports matter? Because I really want to enjoy it still. I want to have fun with it now, you know, and listen to all this minutia and what coach said, Google me, and what coach, you know, is stalking his ex. I don't even know. Yeah. So, you know what? I want to enjoy when the guys get a chance to suit up. They slap the board as they walk out and they play like champions. No pun intended. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to give Notre Dame a push at all, but you know, it's just, it's just what it is, man. And so listen, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give it back to my man Bob's, right? Here's the thing, because I also want to get back to the kids. At some point, there had to be a moment of joy of why you play the game, right? And that's what I'm trying to find, and that's what I'm going to ask our viewers and listeners to help me with. Because if you like to pay attention to the minutia, share with Maestro why. All right. I'm not saying that because I want to be critical of you. I'm saying it because I want to learn from you. I'm being critical of myself. So I want to learn from you. Why? Because I would love to get that. Because for me, like I told you, I rather see who's suiting up on every Saturday or whatever, slapping the board, play like a champion. Sorry, Notre Dame, didn't mean to do that to you. Whatever. I want to see that. And like I say, to bring it back to these kids, at some point, Bob, they had to have just played the game because they loved it. They had to enjoy what it was like to win the big game, to shoot the last shot. All those moments had to mean something, right? Mm-hmm. And then as maybe because of the people around them, maybe because of the expectation that they're getting and seeing and stuff in social media or whatever, there's never one culprit. There's always multiple culprits, right? Something happened and something changed. And all of a sudden, I might as well get paid. Okay. I didn't get a D1 offer. Or I didn't get a major school offer. I got a minors. I got a mid-major. Okay, I want to make a couple extra duckies, like you said. Whatever the situation is, can't fault them for that either. The way they decided to go about doing it, especially they had to know they were wrong. I fault them for that, and I just hope they were able to pick up the pieces and get it together. I wish them the best of everything, and much success and pull themselves out of the hole. They just made the rest of their life a lot more difficult. So there you go. Yeah. I'm back to you, Bob.
Well, no, you know what? I know we talked about it being a short bonus episode. I'm gonna try and wrap it up. I know you mentioned Kai probably still listening. I know B-Run's probably still out there listening to us too.
Yeah.
Let us.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. We would love if you guys like the idea of us having these bonus episodes every now and again. We just love to talk about sports. We have no bones about it. We love talking about sports. We just love talking to each other, honestly.
Yeah, we
we
do.
could
We
have
do. And
we could
by the
have
way,
we could have 0 views, we'd still be doing it.
exactly. And by the way, we love hearing from you guys too. Your
Yeah.
questions, your thoughts,
Yep.
how wrong you think we are. Not
Yeah.
not just how right you think we are or whatever. Hopefully we make you look at it a different way, because you guys certainly make us look at stuff a different way. So
Yeah.
because it's about us. So yes, please.
Yeah. But again, I appreciate all of you, Maestro. I appreciate you. Don't forget, check out this Friday, next episode of In the Pocket. But let us know what you think. Pocket Lint. Are you guys? How's that name? How's the name? Do you think we should change up the way things look a little bit, because it is a little bit of a different show? But let us know. Again, we do plan on doing more of these. We plan on doing some TikTok live soon. I know we talk about it, and we plan on doing some little things here and there.
As soon as I get the app on my phone, I'm ready to go.
But again, Maestro, I appreciate you. Everybody that's still listening, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.